Are you ready?
Oh, you've already started.
Oh, we're already started.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. Welcome to the second installment of Tasha's weekly real estate question. Woo! If you checked out my video from last week, then you might already know that I've decided to do a weekly question each week. And this week's question is, how do you know what a house is worth? And this is a question that I think both buyers and, of course, sellers would be interested in knowing. So, of course, there's some things that contribute to it that are pretty obvious. Probably condition is your number one. What condition is the house in? Does it have a brand new furnace or does it have a 50-year-old furnace? The roof, the electrical, all those kinds of things, very important. Another really important thing, and I know you've heard this before, location, location, location. Of course, that's like famous real estate. So obviously if you have a house that's located in a desirable location, like here in Decatur on the lake, or maybe even you just have a really nice lot, those country lots, those on the edge of town lots that are a little bit bigger, acre or more, tend to be really, really popular too. That's going to get you a lot more value. Other things that affect it, and these are in no particular order, but kind of the more important ones up front, would be age, size, the number of bedrooms, the number of baths, whether or not it has a garage, and how many garage stalls it has, and finally the foundation. Of course, a house on a basement does have more value because that's more space, and even more value if it's a finished basement. So those are some of the factors that go in, but how do you truly figure out what your house is worth? Or if you're looking at buying a house, knowing, is this house worth what they're asking for it? Well, there's a couple of things you could do. If you're really, really savvy, then you might know that you can look up the assessed value for how the county has it taxed. Another way to get a general estimate is to actually go to Zillow and use their Zestimates. And while I do believe that has some use because it can give you a ballpark, I do want to caution you. If you're looking at Zillow and saying, well, Zillow says my house is worth $100,000, so that's what it's worth. Well, not necessarily, for a couple of different reasons. For one, Zillow is actually only looking at what the other houses sold for and basically putting a math formula to it. And so they're calculating almost like assessed value just purely on sales price. What does that not take into account? Well, that's condition. Of course, if the house is in really great condition, it's worth more. If it's in really bad condition, it's worth less. I actually just had an experience where I sold two houses on the same block for very different prices, but the houses were in very different conditions. So it makes a big difference. So you're going, oh, I can't trust Zillow. How do I find out what my house is worth? Well, silly, you call a realtor. And it's free, by the way. Myself, my partner in crime, Karen Mayer. Say hi, Karen.
Hello.
Or really any realtor in town would love to come talk to you about what your house is worth, and it's free. Or if you're a buyer, hopefully you're working with a realtor, and whenever you find a house that you are interested in, that realtor should bring you comparable properties so that you know what the appropriate price is. It's not just willy-nilly this and that. That's why you need us. We know, we have the info. We have the information, I should say. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. If you like it, like my page, follow it, and share it with your friends.